All right, this is orange for target math. It's the very last section of our recording sheet. It says A, fill in the fractions for the shaded part, circle equal or not equal. So if we look at A, our very first fraction has a total of 8 parts. So 8 is our denominator. And there are 5 of the 8 parts circled in. So our first fraction is 5/8. The second part of the equation has 2 fractions. So we're going to put the plus symbol in there because we have 2 fractions. The whole has 8 parts in both of those fractions, so our denominator is 8. The first fraction has 2 blue parts shaded out of 8, and then the second on that side of the equation has 2 parts that are shaded for our numerator. Okay. 2/8 plus 2/8 becomes 4/8. 5/8 is larger, so we would say that 5/8 is not equal to 4/8. They are not equivalent. Part B, use multiplication to solve. So we have a division problem. 24 divided by 6. Okay, I know that 6 is a factor, and I know that 24 is the product. So I have to think, how many groups of 6 does it take to make 24? So I would think 6, 12, 18, 24. So it's going to take 4 groups of 6 to make 24. I can think about that, and in the inverse, 4 times 6 is 24. So my answer to 24 divided by 6 is 4. Part C, we have a green shape there. Circle all that apply. All right, it is a closed shape. So it is called what we call a polygon, which means many sides. It is not a triangle because triangles have 3 sides. It is a quadrilateral because a quadrilateral has 4 sides. It is not a square because it does not have equal sides and 4 right angles. It is not a parallelogram because the sides are not parallel. It is not a trapezoid because one pair is not parallel. It is not a rhombus because it doesn't have equal signs, and it is not a rectangle because it doesn't have 4 right angles. So it is only a polygon that is a quadrilateral. D says to draw a quadrilateral that is not a rectangle or a rhombus. So my quadrilateral is going to have 4 sides. A rectangle has 4 right angles. So my shape that I draw cannot have 4 right angles. And a rhombus has to have all equal sides. So my shape cannot have all equal sides. So I'm going to draw 4 lines that close. That is a quadrilateral. It's not a rectangle, and it's not a rhombus. You may have drawn one that's a little different. As long as it's not one that has 4 equal sides or 4 right angles, it will be correct. Part E says 3/3 or 3/4. When the wholes are the same size, which is greater? Use a fraction model to justify. So I'm going to draw a fraction bar here. And it says that the wholes are the same size. So the second one I draw below it is going to be equal. It's going to be the same size. So I'm going to draw very carefully. All right. So the first one was 3/3 and the other one was 3/4. So we're going to draw these models. Okay. 3/3, to break it into 3 equal parts, I'm going to draw 2 lines. Okay. And then I'm going to use a little bit of color today, and I'm going to shade in 3/3. I hope you can see that yellow. The next one, the next fraction is 3/4. So it's going to have 3 lines to make 4 parts. So I know if I do half That gives me 2 parts. And then if I break each of those half in halves, then I have 4 equal parts. I'm going to shade in 3 out of the 4. 3 is my numerator. It's the total parts that we're discussing. So it's the shaded parts in this case. And 4 is how many parts I have in the whole. Now they want us to see which is greater. So if 3/3 is listed first on the card, so I'm going to put 3/3 first. Oh, wait, that's the answer. Okay. So let me write 3/3 here and 3/4 here. And let's see if this is our answer. 3/3 is a whole. And you can tell by our model that it is greater than 3/4. So which is greater? 3/3. Okay, I always like to remind students that when the whole thing is shaded, that the numerator and the denominator are the same. That is actually one whole. So I teach my kids to draw a big number 1 around it because that is one whole. On part F, find the area. We're going to start off with the gray area. The gray area is 3 vertically and then 3 horizontally. So we have a 3 by 3 grid. 3 times 3 is 9, and you can count the squares there. There are 9 gray squares. The white area is much bigger. It looks like it is 4 across. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down. So it's a 4 by 8 grid. 4 groups of 8 is 32. Then we have the striped area, which is a 2 by 2 area, which is 4 square units. So I know that the gray area is 9 square units. I know the white area is 32 square units. And I know that the striped area is 4 square units. And when I add up 32 plus 9 plus 4, I'm going to do 32 plus 4 is 36. And then 36 plus 9 is going to be 45. 45 square units. So by chunking it into smaller areas, I can find that total area of that irregular shape, of that irregular polygon. And that is the end of Orange for Target Math. Please make sure you keep the sheet because you will be turning it in to your teacher, whether you come in person or whether you are still staying virtual. We will have a procedure for you to safely turn it in to us. Thank you.